Hello Body and Soul community, my name is Lyric. I'll be coming to you every Tuesday and Friday to unpack a bountiful box of produce as an example of what will be going out at the Bounty and Soul markets on Tuesdays and Fridays. So you may see some of this food in your box that you take home, or you can find some other surprises. So we'll jump right in and talk about some cooking tips, nutrition tidbits, and my favorite ways to enjoy this food. Okay, so the first thing I see sticking out of my box is some beautiful curly kale. So this is a locally sourced kale from New Sprout Organics. Kale is an amazing plant ally, super high in vitamin C. It promotes bone health, the health of your immune system, the health of your heart. My favorite way to eat kale is to roast it into kale chips, and I'll be providing a video on that next, so stay tuned. So we've got a big bunch of kale. Next we have some pre-chopped veggies. Looks like we have carrots, onions, and celery. This is great, this is really convenient. I can throw this into a soup or a stew, maybe even into a saute or a stir fry. It's all already perfectly chopped up for me, and it's a beautiful little rainbow. Next we have some bananas. These look really great, and they're not brown spots or anything, but if they were, then I would definitely use them for banana bread. I'll probably just eat these as they are as a snack in my lunch, maybe throw them in a smoothie. Next in my box, I'm finding some links of No Evil Foods. This is a plant-based meat alternative. It's completely vegan. It's not gluten-free, if that's a consideration for you. But No Evil Foods is a local company based here in Asheville. They make this plant-based Italian sausage. They also have a plant-based chorizo and a plant-based chicken, which Bounty and Soul also distributes very often. The great thing about using a plant-based sausage is that you don't have to worry about cooking it all the way through, because it doesn't actually contain meat, so there's no worry about getting sick from eating it undercooked. So you can chop it up and add it very quickly to meals, and really just heat it through, or maybe sear it a little bit to give it a little texture on the outside. But it's a great quick addition to things like stir fries or soups, and it's super packed with protein, so you won't be missing any protein not eating meat. Cherry tomatoes are great because they're so versatile, right? They're a great size for snacking, a great size for kids to snack on, but you can also slice them, pop them into a salad. You can slice them in half and roast them. Those are really yummy. You can add them to soups, stir fries, really anything that you would use a big tomato for, you can use a little tomato for. So I have some citrus, some small oranges, and maybe some clementines. I'm not quite sure about my small citrus, but I know that all citrus is really high in vitamin C. I know I can add a lot of natural sweetness to things like salads or stir fries. So if you have things like sugar cravings, adding some citrus into your meals is a great way to satisfy that without having to eat a lot of refined sugar. Next up, I am finding a red bell pepper and a green bell pepper. So these are both sweet peppers. I find that the red bell pepper has a much stronger flavor. I like to use it in more cooked dishes, so like roasting a bell pepper and then adding it to a stir fry or a sauce. If you see my kale chips recipe that'll be coming out, it offers an option to make a vegan cheese sauce that uses red bell pepper. Green bell pepper is also super delicious. Sometimes I like to use them raw on a sandwich. Also great cooked in a stir fry or soup. Peppers are just really versatile. They're a great thing to get into the pan early if you're doing something like a saute, so you can get it cooked down and get the flavors to be mingling with the other food in your dish. Next in my box, I'm finding some onions. And you'll notice this onion has already started to sprout a little bit. And I know some folks that will throw out their onions when they start to sprout. but really that's not necessary. It doesn't change the flavor or make it inedible in any way. Really, you could actually put this in a cup with some water underneath it, not directly in the water, but just over the water, and it'll start to send roots down, and then the greens get taller, and then not only do you have a nice onion bulb to eat, but now you have green onions as well. So definitely don't think that you have to toss your onions if they start to sprout. You can absolutely eat your green onion sprouts, and you can eat the onion in its entirety. It's still highly delicious. I have 2 onions. Those will be great to add to pretty much everything I cook. I'll put onions in. Ooh, next I'm finding some tiny potatoes. These are small golden potatoes. These are great to just roast whole. You don't even have to slice them. They get nice and soft on the inside with a crispy skin, just like a mini baked potato. They're great to throw in with other roasted root vegetables like carrots or sweet potatoes. I know we have some local burdock root going out this week, which I'll be posting a recipe for how to roast burdock root, so that would be a great companion for your small potatoes. So we have small golden potatoes, but we have big sweet potatoes. I have 3 big sweet potatoes in here. Sweet potatoes are a great plant ally. They're chock full of vitamin A, which is great for eye health. They have a beautiful color when added to soups or roasted or sauteed. You just can't beat having such a brilliant orange on your plate. And something that I've mentioned in cooking demos, if you've been there with me, is if a sweet potato has like a dark spot or a soft spot on the outside, don't think that the whole thing is rotten. You can just cut that right off, and as long as the flesh is intact and has a beautiful color on the inside, they're perfectly safe to eat. So make sure to just chop those parts off and don't think you have to discard your whole potato. Next thing I'm finding is ginger root. Ginger is an amazing addition, not only to food. If you remove the peel, you can slice it up and add it to Asian food specifically. It really elevates things like fried rice or stir fry or an Asian soup. But I also love ginger just as a tea, so you can shave off the peel, grate it, or chop it very finely, and steep it in water, in boiling water. And it's an amazing digestive aid. I can speak from personal experience. Whenever I have a stomach ache, I go straight to ginger, and it always clears it up. And last but not least, I have a bottle of liquid salt. This is from Celtic Sea Salt. This was a new find for me a few weeks ago when I was introduced to it, but I've really grown fond of using it. It actually already has herbs infused into it: rosemary, oregano, thyme, and bay. So it already has a really nice savory flavor. And I just add it at the end when I'm already finished cooking and I have my bowl of food served up, and I'll just do like a spritz or 2 right on top. It's very strong, you don't need much, but it really carries those flavors of the herbs that are in there. So it's a great kind of new thing to try if you've never tried liquid salt. So here is everything that came out of my bountiful box today. I am so grateful and excited to enjoy this delicious food. Please reach out if you have more questions or ideas for recipes and how you can enjoy this food too. Thank you.